This week, I'm gonna be building a sauna. Something I've been wanting for a while now. Prices of saunas online are really expensive and I just cannot afford that. Summer is coming to an end and winter's right around the corner. A sauna will just be something to make a Canadian winter a little more bearable. So let's get to it. There are hundreds of different ways you can design your sauna. I decided to go with a pentagon shape. I was looking for something a little bit different, and when I first saw it, I fell in love immediately. We have our first piece, just have to make 19 more. I think I'm gonna make a plywood plate to go over top here, and that'll stiffen everything up. Just a quick shout out to all the birds that took on my plywood while I was outside. Thanks guys. We have all 4 of the frames built, and in the inside I'm going to go with a 5/4 cedar decking board. They're from a previous project, so they're not new, but they're in pretty good condition, and I think with a little bit of sanding and some routing, they're going to work perfect. I couldn't find a table the right size, so I'm just clamping it down to my table saw. After I'd finished sanding, I decided to try and put 2 boards together, but they were way too tight, so I decided to drop the height on the router a little bit and run the groove side back through, and they went together much better. It's time to start assembling the base that the frame is going to sit on. Here I just have 2 4x6 treated posts cut to 6 feet. I am keeping an equal distance between them with 2 2x4s. Now I'm just squaring everything up, making sure everything's level, and I'm going to install the pentagons. I decided to use 7.5-inch GRK structural screws to fasten each end of the frames down. Taking a step back, realizing that it's not gonna fit in the corner, I decided to move everything over and finish installing the frame. I didn't want to have visible fasteners on the inside of the sauna, so I decided to build my walls into panels. Here I'm just squaring up all the pieces before I clamp them. After I squeeze them all together, I'm going to take a measurement on either side to make sure that it's consistent. After that, I marked out some lines for my 2x2 backing that I'm going to put on, and then cut my wall to length. Here are the 2x2 backings I'm going to use to secure all the boards on the back side. With everything secured, the clamps can now come off. I then repeated this process for the remaining 4 walls. After I slide my panels into place, all that's left to do is just attach them to the 2x4 frame and cut the last piece to fit in place. I was extremely happy with how everything turned out. It was looking awesome. Things were going well. A little too well. And it was at this point my neighbor pointed something out that was going to be a major flaw in my sauna. All the saunas that I had seen online were non-insulated, so I figured mine would be fine to be non-insulated as well. However, he strongly recommended that I find some way to insulate it. I decided to get a second and third opinion from other people that I know that have saunas, and they basically said the same thing. And I think I handled the news extremely well. I wasn't sure how an oversight slipped through my detailed plans. So I decided to do some research, some measuring, and I think I came up with a plan. This is rigid, continuous wall insulation with a reflective foil acting as a vapor barrier on the outside, which should definitely help keep some heat in. And I don't think it could have fit any better. I was extremely happy. Now that I have the front closed in, I found the center, leveled the line down, and then marked out where my door is going to go. I built my door using the same method I used to build the walls, except I glued everything together instead of screwing it. All sides are insulated except the floor. Now, I have a plan on how to do that. It's not a good one, but it is a plan. First, I'll have to cut it free from the base. I have this 2x4 here, which I'm going to use as a lever, and these 2x4s on a 3-step to catch it on the other side. This is what letting your intrusive thoughts come to fruition looks like. I just got more 2x4s, I think. They multiplied. Time to insulate the floor. I touched a rope this time, but pretty much gonna be the same thing. I don't know why I didn't think of that the first time. I like the first way better. That was way less funny. I wonder if they'd let me return these. There's one problem with the sauna right now, and that it is extremely dark when you go in there. I am planning on putting some LED lights in there, but I also wanted some natural light. My neighbor came by, the same one that told me I should insulate it, and he gave me this glass for my door. What a legend. I think that's gonna be an awesome feature for it, and I can't wait to see what it looks like. And he is definitely getting a Christmas basket. For this, I found the center point of my door, and then I measured the glass, made some reference points on the door, lined the glass up to them, and then traced it. I just made sure that the glass panel would fit, and the next step was to make some trim pieces to hold it in place. Before I set the glass back in, I hit it with a little bit of silicone to ensure a watertight seal. While that was drying, I decided to take some of my leftover cedar and start making some corners for the siding. I left the corners a little bit long, that way I could slide them where they fit best, and then just cut off the excess. By now, the silicone was dry on the door, and I reinstalled it and added some trims to go around it. It's snowing. I need to get siding on here ASAP. To install the siding, I'm going to be using a pneumatic roofing nailer with 1¼ nails. To get started, I'm just going to find the length of the bottom of my piece, use my template to mark the angles, cut it, set it in place, make sure it fits, double check that it's level, and then install it. Next, I'll mark the overlap of my next piece, line it up with my overlap mark, and fasten it. Now that we're far enough off the ground, we can use these siding gauges to hold our pieces in place. Now that the siding was finished, it was time to move on to the roof. I used 1x4 lumber to strap the roof 24-inch on center, and then I used a black metal roofing to cover it, but not before more snow got in the way. To get started on the roof, we're going to cut our eave flashing to length and then install it. I flushed up my roof metal with the siding, and then on the bottom I made sure I had an equal overhang on both sides. Then screw it in place. And then I installed a gable trim to cover up the cut edges of the siding as well as the edge of the roofing. And I know this wasn't my first choice of siding color, but these colors actually go together so well. Something really exciting happened. Yesterday, the electrician was here to hook up the heater. think I'm in love. I also got him to wire in an outlet so that I could put some lights in. We decided to install the controls on the back side of the sauna just to clean it up a little bit. Now all that's left is to put some benches in there. I realized the lights were going to need to go behind this piece of backing, so I quickly went and did that as well. Once the benches were installed and leveled, I went and added some support pieces. I think it's time we change the door handle. That's better. And with that, we are all done. Thanks for following along. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to try this thing out.